My beloved child, before the next 3 hours pass, something you have known for a long time is about to fade away, and sadly, this innocent soul is your old self. Pause. Breathe. Don't skip. This is not about fear. This is not about loss in the way you think. It is about a quiet ending that makes space for a powerful beginning. Something huge is waiting for you, but it cannot arrive while the past version of you still holds the door closed. Right now, as you listen, the clock is moving, not to frighten you, but to awaken you. There is a version of you that has been small, doubtful, silent, waiting for permission. That version has tried its best. It protected you when you felt uncertain. It kept you safe when you feared rejection. It stayed quiet when your heart wanted to speak. But in the next 3 hours, that innocent version will gently step aside. Stay till the end, because what replaces it will surprise you in a way that feels once in a lifetime. You felt something unusual when you clicked this video, didn't you? A pull, a whisper, a curiosity you could not ignore. That is not random. That is awareness preparing you. For years, you have carried invisible weight, expectations, regrets, moments you replay at night, words you wish you had said, dreams you almost gave up on. All of that has shaped the old you. And that old you has been innocent. It did not know better. It reacted instead of responding. It doubted instead of trusting. It hesitated instead of stepping forward. But here is the truth that changes everything. Growth always feels like loss at first. When a seed becomes a tree, the seed disappears. When a sunrise arrives, the night fades without protest. And when your higher self awakens, the smaller version of you cannot remain the same. Don't skip, because the next 3 hours are not random. They are symbolic. They represent a window, a doorway of awareness. During this time, you will notice subtle shifts, a thought that feels clearer, a memory that suddenly makes sense, a realization that lands differently than before. And when it happens, you will understand what this message truly meant. There is someone in your life who has unknowingly been waiting for this transformation. They have sensed your potential. They have seen the light in you even when you doubted it. But the old version of you could not fully receive their belief. Innocence is beautiful. But limitation is not meant to last forever. Something huge is waiting for you, a conversation, an opportunity, a moment of clarity, and it requires a stronger, more confident presence. It requires you to release hesitation. Within 3 hours, you will face a small decision. It may seem ordinary. It may feel simple. But it will mark the quiet ending of who you used to be. Will you speak honestly instead of staying silent? Will you trust your instinct instead of overthinking? Will you choose courage instead of comfort? That choice is the symbolic farewell. Stay till the end, because this is where the deeper layer reveals itself. You have been carrying a story about yourself, a narrative formed from past misunderstandings. Perhaps you told yourself you are not ready. Perhaps you believed you must wait for the perfect moment. Perhaps you convinced yourself that staying invisible is safer. But that story is expiring. The innocent soul mentioned in the title is not a person outside of you. It is the outdated identity within you. And while it feels sad to let it go, it is also sacred. Because endings create space. In the next 3 hours, pay attention to your thoughts. Notice which ones feel heavy and which ones feel expansive. The heavy ones belong to the old self. The expansive ones belong to who you are becoming. And here is the surprising revelation: you are not becoming someone new. You are remembering who you have always been. Don't skip this part. There was a time in your childhood when you believed anything was possible. When you did not measure your worth against others. When you did not shrink your dreams to fit into someone else's expectations. That version of you was fearless in a pure way. Over time, life layered doubt on top of that purity. Responsibilities, comparisons, silence. None of it was your fault. It was simply part of learning. But now, you are strong enough to return to that inner clarity, without losing wisdom. The next 3 hours symbolize alignment. When this window closes, you will not feel dramatic change. There will be no loud announcement, no sudden spectacle. It will be subtle, calm, certain. You will simply notice that something inside you no longer fits. A habit, a reaction, a pattern of self-talk. And instead of clinging to it, you will let it go. That is the death the title speaks of, the gentle closing of an outdated chapter. Stay till the end, because the final truth in this part is crucial. Many people wait their entire lives for a sign that it is safe to evolve. They wait for approval. They wait for perfect timing. They wait for reassurance. But transformation does not shout. It whispers. You are hearing that whisper right now. Something huge is waiting for you, but it is not external success or sudden change. It is internal authority, the quiet power of knowing who you are. And when the old version of you steps aside within these next 3 hours, you will feel lighter. Not because something was taken from you, but because something false was released. You may even feel a brief sadness. That is natural. We become attached to familiar identities, even limiting ones. They feel safe. But safety without growth becomes stagnation. The innocent soul of your past self deserves gratitude, not resistance. It carried you through lessons. It protected your heart when you were unsure. It survived moments that shaped you. Now it is ready to rest. And you are ready to rise. In the next part, you will discover what replaces that old identity, and why the timing of this transformation connects to someone unexpected in your life. For now, remain present. Notice your breath. Notice your posture. Notice the quiet awareness forming within you. The countdown is not about fear. It is about awakening. Don't skip what is unfolding inside you. Stay till the end of this journey, because something huge is waiting for you. And it begins with who you choose to be in the next 3 hours. The silence you feel right now is not empty. It is preparing you for a truth that changes everything. You made it here for a reason. Don't skip. In the first part, you understood that the innocent soul was not someone outside of you. It was the fragile, uncertain version of yourself that has quietly shaped your choices. But now, something deeper is unfolding. Within the next 3 hours, you will face a moment that seems ordinary, a message, a thought, a reflection in the mirror, a quiet decision when no one is watching. And that moment will separate who you were from who you are becoming. Stay till the end. Because this is where the once, in a lifetime realization begins. There is a hidden pattern in your life. Look closely. Every time you were about to grow, something inside you hesitated. Not because you were weak. Not because you lacked ability. But because the old version of you feared being seen fully. That innocent soul believed it had to shrink to be accepted. It believed silence was safer than expression. It believed waiting was wiser than acting. It believed hiding was protection. But protection has an expiration date. And yours is approaching. Don't misunderstand this. Nothing dramatic is happening around you. No alarms. No chaos. The world outside remains calm. But inside, there is a shift so subtle and powerful that you almost miss it. Something huge is waiting for you. Not a sudden miracle. Not a loud announcement. But clarity. You are about to realize that the only thing standing between you and the life you imagine has been your attachment to the old identity. Within 3 hours, you will recognize a thought that no longer belongs to you. It might sound like, I am not ready. I should wait. What if I fail? And for the first time, you will not believe it. That is the farewell. The innocent soul mentioned in the title is the version of you that survived by playing small. And while it feels emotional to say goodbye, understand this: it is not disappearing in sadness. It is dissolving in gratitude, because it has completed its purpose. Stay till the end, because the next revelation will feel almost shocking in its simplicity. There is someone connected to your life path who senses this change before you do. They may not say it directly, but they feel the shift in your energy. When you step into clarity, your presence changes. Your voice becomes steadier. Your decisions become calmer. And they will notice. The reason this transformation feels urgent is not because of time on a clock. It is because you are finally aligned enough to step forward. For years, you waited for permission. For years, you searched for confirmation. For years, you looked outside for reassurance. But the permission has always been internal. Don't skip this moment. Close your eyes for a second as you listen. Imagine standing at the edge of a quiet shoreline. The tide moves in and out without force. The old self is like the tide pulling away, natural, expected, necessary. You cannot hold the water in place. You cannot force the old version to stay. And why would you? You have outgrown it. Within the next 3 hours, you may feel an unusual calm. Not excitement. Not fear. Just a grounded awareness that something inside you has settled. That is the signal. The title speaks of something ending soon. And yes, something is ending. But what ends is limitation. What fades is hesitation. What closes is the chapter where you doubted your own light. This is not loss. This is elevation. Something huge is waiting for you. A conversation you are ready to handle differently. A decision you are strong enough to make. An opportunity you finally feel worthy of. And when it arrives, you will not recognize yourself as the same person who once hesitated. Stay till the end, because the next part will reveal why this transformation had to happen now, and why delaying it even one more day would have kept you from stepping into something far greater than you expected. The next 3 hours are not about fear. They are about freedom. And freedom always begins with letting an old identity gently step aside. Right now, as the clock continues to move, you are standing at the edge of a version of yourself that will never return. Feel that. Not panic. Not fear. But awareness. Don't skip. Because this is the part where everything becomes crystal clear. You may have noticed something subtle since the beginning of this message. A strange calm. A quiet strength. A sense that you are observing your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. That is not accidental. The innocent soul we spoke about, the one about to die in the next 3 hours, is dissolving not through force, but through realization. And realization is powerful. Stay till the end. Because what you are about to understand will feel almost shocking in its simplicity. The old version of you survived on autopilot. It reacted quickly. It doubted instantly. It questioned your worth before anyone else could. It tried to predict outcomes so you would never feel disappointment. But here is the revelation: it was never protecting you. It was limiting you. And the moment you see that clearly, it loses its control. Something huge is waiting for you, but it cannot enter a space filled with outdated beliefs. Imagine trying to pour fresh water into a cup that is already full. The new cannot enter until the old is released. That is what these 3 hours represent. A clearing. Within this time, you will experience a moment of recognition. It may be triggered by something simple, a notification on your phone, a passing memory, a conversation replaying in your mind. And suddenly, you will think differently. Instead of shrinking, you will stand mentally taller. Instead of overanalyzing, you will trust. Instead of assuming the worst, you will expect growth. That single shift is the symbolic ending. Don't skip this next part. You have spent years carrying a quiet question: is this really who I am? And today, the answer arrives. No, you are not the hesitation. You are not the fear of being misunderstood. You are not the silent version who holds back brilliance. Those were layers, protective layers, innocent layers. But layers can be removed. As the next hour passes, you may feel a slight discomfort, not negative, just unfamiliar. That discomfort is expansion. It is the stretching of your identity into something stronger. And here is the once in a lifetime realization. The person you are becoming has been waiting patiently behind your own doubts. Imagine that. All this time, you thought you were searching for your next level. In reality, it has been standing quietly within you, waiting for permission to lead. Stay till the end, because this is where it becomes deeply personal. There is someone connected to your future who will meet a different version of you soon. And when they do, the dynamic will shift. They will sense confidence where there was once uncertainty. They will feel clarity where there was once confusion. Not because you changed for them, but because you finally changed for yourself. The title spoke of sadness. And yes, there is a gentle sadness in letting go of who you were. Nostalgia always accompanies growth. But that sadness is soft, almost beautiful. It is gratitude for the lessons that shaped you. You are not losing yourself. You are shedding the parts that no longer fit. Don't skip this final thought. Within the next 3 hours, when you catch yourself about to fall into an old pattern, pause. Notice it. And instead of following it, choose differently. That choice is the moment of transformation. That choice is the farewell. That choice is the quiet death of limitation. Something huge is waiting for you, not tomorrow, not someday, but on the other side of this very shift. And when you look back at this exact moment, you will realize this was the turning point. The old version of you is stepping aside, and the stronger, clearer, more aligned version is stepping forward. The next part will reveal what this new version unlocks, and why the timing of this change connects to a surprising event you never expected. For now, stay present. The clock is moving, and so are you. There is a quiet doorway opening in your life right now, and almost no one else can see it but you. Pause with that feeling. Don't skip, because what happens next is the reason this message found you at this exact moment. You have felt the shift building, the hesitation weakening, the old reactions losing their grip. And now, something remarkable is about to unfold. Within this final stretch of the 3 hours, you will be presented with a mirror moment, a reflection that shows you clearly who you have become. It will not arrive with noise. It will not announce itself loudly. It will feel simple. And that simplicity will shock you. Stay till the end. Because this is where the title reveals its deepest meaning. The innocent soul that was about to fade was the version of you that believed you had to wait for life to choose you. That version thought opportunity was rare. That version believed timing was outside of your control. But the new version understands something powerful. You are not waiting for life. Life is responding to you. Something huge is waiting for you, but it has been waiting for this upgrade in your awareness. In the next moments, you may notice yourself responding differently to something that once triggered doubt. A memory that once felt heavy will feel neutral. A situation that once made you anxious will feel manageable. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. And here comes the surprising revelation, the one that feels almost unreal when you first hear it. The shift you are experiencing is not preparation for the future. It is the future arriving. For so long, you imagined a better version of yourself living somewhere ahead in time. Stronger, calmer, clearer. But that version was never in the future. It was waiting behind your decision to let go. Don't skip this. Because the moment you fully accept that the old self has completed its journey, you will feel a release that is difficult to explain. It may show up as deep breathing, a relaxed jaw, a quiet smile forming without effort. That is the symbolic farewell. There is no dramatic ending, no loss, no darkness, only graduation. You are graduating from the identity that once kept you safe but small. And as this happens, something external will begin to shift as well. A door that seemed closed may feel less intimidating. A conversation you avoided may suddenly feel possible. A dream you quietly carried may feel realistic. Stay till the end, because the connection is powerful. The title suggested urgency, within the next 3 hours. And that urgency was never about fear. It was about focus. It was about bringing you fully into the present moment so you would not delay your own expansion again. 3 hours is not about time. It is about decision. In this window, you decided, consciously or subconsciously, that you are done shrinking. And that decision changes everything. Something huge is waiting for you because you are finally ready to hold it without questioning your worth. You may not see fireworks. You may not hear applause. But you will feel certainty. And certainty is louder than noise. The innocent soul of your past self is not disappearing in sadness. It is transforming into wisdom. Every doubt you carried becomes insight. Every hesitation becomes understanding. Every moment of waiting becomes preparation. You are not losing yourself. You are integrating your lessons. Don't skip this final truth. When you look back at this day, you will realize it was the turning point, not because something outside changed, but because you did. And that is the most powerful transformation of all. The 3-hour window is closing. The old version of you has gently stepped aside. And the person standing here now, steady, aware, ready, is someone who no longer fears becoming who they were meant to be. Stay present. Something huge is waiting for you. And this time, you are ready to receive it. A new rhythm has already begun inside you, even if you cannot fully name it yet. Listen closely. Don't skip. Because this final revelation is the one that ties everything together in a way you never expected. The 3 hours have not just passed on a clock. They have passed through your awareness. And in that passage, something subtle but irreversible has happened. You no longer identify with the version of yourself that once doubted your own light. That innocent soul, the hesitant, smaller, uncertain you, has gently completed its journey. And here is the truth that feels almost unbelievable. You are not the same person who pressed play on part 1. Stay till the end. Because what this unlocks is far greater than a temporary feeling. Think back to how this began. The title sounded urgent. It felt dramatic. It pulled you in with intensity. Someone is about to die in the next 3 hours. Your mind searched for external meaning. But the real shift was internal. The death was symbolic. The sadness was nostalgia. The innocence was limitation. And what replaced it is awareness. Something huge is waiting for you, not because the universe suddenly changed its mind about you, but because you finally changed your mind about yourself. That is the once-in-a-lifetime realization. For years, you may have believed that transformation required chaos, pain, or some grand external event. But what if true transformation is quiet? What if it happens in stillness? What if it begins with a single decision to stop repeating an old story? Right now, you feel different, more grounded, more certain, more present. And that presence is powerful. Don't skip this moment. Because the most shocking part of all is this: nothing outside of you had to fall apart for you to rise. You did not need loss. You did not need crisis. You did not need pressure. You needed awareness. And awareness arrived when you were ready. In the hours since this message began, you have mentally stepped away from patterns that once felt permanent. You have observed your thoughts instead of becoming them. You have felt the possibility of responding differently to life. That is not small. That is monumental. Stay till the end, because this is where the emotional truth settles in. There may be a quiet sadness lingering, not heavy, not painful, just reflective. That sadness is gratitude for the old self that tried its best. It protected you when you felt uncertain. It kept you careful when you felt vulnerable. But you do not need that level of protection anymore. You are stronger now. And the person emerging from this shift is capable of holding more joy, more clarity, more opportunity. Something huge is waiting for you, a chapter that requires confidence instead of caution, expression instead of silence, trust instead of hesitation. And now you are ready. The title promised urgency within 3 hours. And that urgency was never about fear. It was about focus. It was about pulling you fully into the present so you would witness your own transformation instead of postponing it again. You did not just listen to words. You experienced a shift. And that shift will echo into your next conversation, your next decision, your next opportunity. The innocent soul of your past self has not vanished in darkness. It has evolved into wisdom. You carry its lessons, but you no longer carry its limits. Don't skip this final truth. The person who steps forward from this moment is aligned with possibility. And when the next door opens, whether tomorrow or next week, you will not question whether you deserve it. You will simply walk through. Something huge is waiting for you. And this time, you are not waiting for permission. You are ready.